to the premiere edition of DZ Plays. This is my new video game playthrough feature on Living Vicariously. I am DZ, Delta Zero, and I'm going to play some games. Who would have thought? This is going to be a regular series here and there on my channel. I'm going to record a few every time I do this, so hopefully I can get them out somewhat on a regular basis. We'll see. And I figured we might as well start out with a brand new game that just came out recently, The Last of Us. I just picked this up not even a week ago, played through it, beat it. No spoilers, guys. I'm not going to spoil anything. You need to go in this game relatively blind to the plot as far as the pivotal points and the character developments and things. But I will, obviously that you are going to see some stuff in this game. I'm not going to go too far into it, but I'm going to go enough to where you can get an idea of what this game's about and what to expect without spoiling the things that are unexpected. So, let's get started. This is The Last of Us, developed by Naughty Dog. Naughty Dog made the Uncharted series, so they're very good developers. There's a feature on this game where they did like a behind-the-scenes making-of thing. I really recommend checking that out. I'm not sure how you get it, but I found it on YouTube, so there you go. Let's see here. Hello, Aiden. It's my cat, Aiden. Here to join us for the premiere episode of DZ Plays. We're going to check out the museum portion of the game. This gives you a really good idea of what the game's about. Start on normal. Like I said, I beat the game. I really enjoyed this game. It's an experience, that's for sure. Let's see. It takes a while to load, so I'll see you guys when it's done loading. Oh, thank God it's done. This game takes forever to load sometimes. I noticed that it feels like they really pushed PS3's limits with this game. There's some minor texture issues and things kind of pop up, and it really does feel like we're pushing the system. I have a PS3 Fat launch year model, and the thing was going nuts with this game at points. But overall, I would say that it's a really beautiful game. You can see like the water details here. They did a tremendous job with this game. Basic plot line here, without spoiling anything, and I don't want to spoil anything. You are playing a character named Joel. That is his partner Tess, walking over here, and this is Ellie. Now, the game is about the relationship between Joel and Ellie in some respects, and these characters are incredibly dynamic. They have tons of depth to them. There's backstories. There's lots of information that you'll uncover about them as you play the game. The story of the game is told through the gameplay. The basic plotline is that the world had a horrible pandemic involving a disease that spread from people and basically ruined the entire population. And there are areas that are sanctioned off in quarantine zones that are heavily policed, and then there are areas that are kind of like the Wild West and anything goes, and their own territories. And Joel and Tess, these two people right here, they are smugglers. Their job is to smuggle goods and people to different, outside of the quarantine zones, different areas. So basically what we're doing here is we're trying to get Ellie here over to a different area of different part of the game, actually. We're transversing through the entire, well, not the entire, but across a good portion of the United States. This game takes place over a whole bunch of different areas, different seasons, etc. You'll see when you play the game. I'm not sure where I'm going right now. You'll find in this game there's no real map system. Like, there's some maps you can find, but they're mostly like collectibles. They don't really tell you much. And let's see. Let's get started here. What I like about this game is that it's not really an action shooter kind of game. It's more of an exploratory survivalist game. I mean, it's not scary, but there are parts that are kind of creepy. As you'll see in here, I think, you press R2 and you can actually hear enemies. So all those guys right there, those guys aren't good. They are the infected. They were infected with the disease, and it causes them to go crazy and eat people. Kind of like zombies, but they're very fast. The game also has human antagonists that you have to watch out for. There's lots of seedy things that happen when the world is in this state of disarray, so you have to watch out for who's your friend, who's your enemy, and you have more enemies than you have friends, as you'll find out. Now with this game, it's very melee based. You'll have to go and attack people with various things, and since it has a survivalist theme to it, you have to go around scrounging around for items, like utensils. You'll find, like I just picked up a pair of scissors, you'll find paper, some kind of liquid. And what you do is you mix them together and you're able to forge together items, kind of like makeshift items. Like I can make a shiv right here that I can stab people with from behind. Med kits I can create with those items that I picked up throughout the game map. Molotov cocktail, you find those. There's not a whole lot of weapons in the game. At this point I only have a few. You press the right directional pad, you can switch through the weapons here. A brick you can use to smash their faces in, which is a favorite pastime of mine. Or you can actually throw it at them and distract them. Now, when I attack one of these guys, they're all going to kind of come after me. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to craft a cocktail. So you just go to the weapon, you press X, and he actually makes it as you press the X button. He actually forges it together in his backpack. Everything in the game you can see is actually modeled. So like everything that you're holding, if you get like a rifle, it'll go on his back. And you can actually see everything, which I thought was a nice little touch. There's no like invisible holsters or anything. You can only hold things for a limited amount of time. Like I said, I probably can't do much with this guy, but I can grab him, shiv him. This game's violent, by the way. And apparently that worked, so I didn't alert the others. But these guys are kind of sleeping. Lights don't affect them. But, I mean, there's not really going to be a way I can get past these guys. I grab him. You can strangle. That's what they look like. Horrible, ugly. And they didn't like when I picked that thing up. That's what my objective was. They would chase you like that. You have to do these button presses to get rid of them. Partner will actually help you. And that's it. That's all she wrote for that infected person. This game is very violent. But, you know, ironically enough, for a game so violent, I actually feel like this game is actually tailored for adults better than most video games I've ever played. Like, there's some very mature themes in this game involving just like, you know, the moral situations you'd be in if you were in a survivalist situation. If you've ever seen The Road, this game will probably have a lot of similarities in the sense of the relationship between Ellie and Joel. And I'm not going to reveal what that relationship is exactly, but there's some similarities that go down with this game involving the two. What I have to do right now, since again the game's not very clear with what you have to do all the time, which I kind of like in a way. I have to figure out a way to get across that semi since I can't climb it. And the way you do that is by finding items in the world to use to your advantage. It's a very like hands-on approach.
Here we go.
So I'm going to take this dresser, or whatever it is, and it's pretty easy to control considering it looks pretty heavy. And you just put it over here, and there you go. And now there are parts of the game where you're not together with these people, but you'll find that it's not like an escort mission game, which I was worried about when I first got it. It's not like that, like in Resident Evil 4 where you have to carry that girl around and she's like so susceptible to get attacked by the zombies and everything. It's not like that at all. These people can defend themselves just fine. There are portions where they can't and you have to help them. But overall, it doesn't have that vibe. They are very self-sufficient. You don't have to worry about them too much. Which is good, because the game kind of would have been dragged down if otherwise they wouldn't be able to fend off anything on their own. That would kind of suck. So you can toggle the flashlight with the R3 button. Pretty easy. Like again, you can just notice the detail in the environment. There'll be better portions I can see. Sometimes the characters will point out things like this.
Yeah, that worked out good last time.
So I gotta open this thing.
Sorry, I'm just saying.
There are portions where you have to press the button like mad. This one you just hold it, so Joel doesn't jerk that chain around too much.
What? I don't need anything.
Okay, double time.
Pay attention to the voice work.
They're coming.
I know.
Okay, let's go. Got something on her shoe.
And again, with the scavenge parts, you can also get these little sprocket things, and I guess that's the currency of this post-civilized world. And you can use those things to upgrade your weapons. Like you see the little locks right there. There's many different weapons to get. There's not a lot of weapons in the game compared to most games of this nature, but there are a few. Like I really want to get this revolver upgraded because I use that a lot. But I don't have the proper tools to upgrade it any more than that right now. And you'll find tools throughout the game too. So I have plenty of these little gears here to upgrade, but I can't do it without the tools. So I can either save it or I can start upgrading these other weapons right here. I didn't use the 9mm too much in this game, so I think I'm done upgrading. But you can upgrade anything you find as far as weapons go. You can even upgrade things like this shiv right here. I can upgrade a bit. Or I'm sorry, no, I can put the shiv on like if I find a plank, like a melee plank, I can actually tie things to it, like scissors or something, and I can attack the enemy as a one-hit kill, which is a pretty cool thing, I thought. So there's numerous things. It's basically take what you can get and apply it to what you can. It's a game where, you know, the littlest things are what you're looking for to survive. You'll find weapons and ammo, and you'll search through drawers like this. Sometimes you won't find anything like there. And sometimes you'll find a lot of stuff, actually. There's safes, and you get to find the combinations for things like that. I have two options here. And again, you can use this feature by pressing R2, and Joel can go and hear any enemy that's in the surrounding area. You can upgrade this so you can hear more. It doesn't actually slow them down though, like they will come after you, so you only have to use it if you're looking for anybody. Some scissors. And basically a lot of the game is looking for things like this. If you want, you don't have to do this, but it will help your survival immensely. I chose this part of the game because it showcases a lot of what you do in the game off. Without your flashlight, you can't see anything. But right now I can pick up all these items because I found them, and I can use them to upgrade, like say, I'll probably need another health kit or even another cocktail. Those are fun. But now I can't, since I used part of those materials to make the cocktail, I no longer have the materials to make the health kit, so I have to find a little bit more of the rags and I can make the health kit. That's how the game's health system works. And I find it's pretty effective because it makes you conserve things. But if you're like me and you're going crazy and trying to find everything, you'll probably be okay. Here is a clicker. Clickers are blind, they use echolocation. Any subtle movement you make, they can probably hear. Although you can go like real slow and they won't see you. But she already kind of senses I'm over here. So what I have to do is I have to distract her. So I'm going to throw a brick over there. Now she's distracted. It gives me an opportunity to sneak up behind her. Now these things are one kill. If they see you, you're dead immediately. So you have to be really quiet. And be really sneaky. This is like Metal Gear Solid meets Silent Hill right here. There might be a few of them. Like I said, you can use your location sensor to figure out where they're at. There's one right over there in the distance, so I'm probably good with her. And she sees me. Now I'm in trouble. I don't know if they can go in here. I don't think they can. These things are scary. The game's not really that scary, but these things are because they will kill you instantly when they get you, unless you have a shiv handy. I'm trying to sneak, because sneaking is a big part of the game. But it's hard with these guys. You can only do it if you have a shiv. Hello, baby. There we go. It's that simple. They get you, you're dead. Alright, the game is pretty generous with checkpoints, so it's put me right back here where I'm battling with the clickers. I can actually use this to stun them too. There's numerous things you can do in this game. That didn't work. This is not a good strategy. say? So the best thing to do is either avoid them or distract them, or make sure you can actually get them from behind like I tried to do. Sugar, but I might have lured the others. Yes, I got that one. Oh, God. You can't do anything once they reach you. These areas are typically a little difficult with the clickers. I usually actually don't even kill them. I just distract them, so that's probably what I'm going to do right now. Now that you've seen that you can actually stealthily kill them, I'm just going to get by them. The thing to do is to figure out where your exits are so you know where you're going. And I'm going to alert her when knocking that thing over. Got both of those guys over there. So I can kind of be a little more liberal with my movement. Not much though, because there's one right around the corner. You'll find bricks and bottles all over the place, which helped tremendously with these guys. See a door over there, so I'm going to try to lure her out of the way by doing this. There might be one behind me. No, they're all over there. Okay. In survivor mode, you can't even use your sensor, so it's super difficult. I'm running to stairs. That's not a clicker. That's a infected person. The clickers are, well, I'm not going to spoil it, but they are related in some way to these infected people. Oh my god, they're still here. And there's my cocktail. Now all these guys are going to come over here. Except for those two, apparently. That sometimes works. The best way to deal with them in groups is to use those cocktails, and later on in the game you get an additional weapon. I won't say what it is, but you get an additional weapon that can also take out many at once. Again, the game is generous with these checkpoints. Well, triggered a cutscene, apparently. You see that plus, the health sign right there, that means that Ellie needs help. So I have to get behind this guy and just clobber the hell out of him. Or smash his head against the case. That's one of them. I don't think there's much damage, if any, on your partners if you shoot them accidentally. So you don't have to worry about friendly fire too much. My health's kind of going. You can also use this brick to just cave their faces in. Like so. I need some health, but I have to actually sit there and apply it. So I can't do it until I get rid of these guys. That's part of the nature of this game, is that you're trying to find a way to get cover and to find time to put health on, which he actually has to do physically. Here's a bottle. Sometimes they have items, but usually they don't drop anything. Alright, let's get out of here. One thing I like about this game is that both of these female leads here are very well written. You know, they're in typical games like, you know, survival horror games, you'll see that they're kind of overly sexualized or anything and all that kind of stuff, but Ellie and Tess aren't. They are strong women, and I like that a lot. It's nice to see that once in a while. This game takes things very seriously, but it does have It's occasional like zaniness, but not a whole lot. I mean, this is a really dark game. And Ellie is a teenage girl, actually, so it's probably better if she's not overly sexualized. But one of the themes in the game is, you know, the development of how these people age and what changes in them as time goes on and what makes them different from modern standards. We're trying to get over to that building, which is still in the distance. So here's one of the things you have to do. You have to use items you find in the real world. It's one of the unique qualities of this game. Is you find what you can and you use it. You apply it. Survivalist nature. It's what the game's all about. So I'm trying to get over there. So I'm going to put this plank across these two buildings. You can put it anywhere, and triggers cutscene.
Watch your step as you're going up, because it's going to be a little... So is that everything you hoped for?
Jury's still out. But man, can't deny that view. Come on, this way. Hey, let's pick it up. Look, we're almost done. Stay focused.
Yes, ma'am.
Right around this corner. Come on.
You're moving, kid.
What I typically do when I play this is I go in the areas where they're not going, because they typically go in areas where you're supposed to move on to the next thing, jump over the, you know, obstacle or whatever. But sometimes you'll find things laying around, like a pendant or the utensils and things you're using. The game changes a bit when you're not really active in combat. He doesn't run that fast. He he walks at a brisk pace, because you know he's not worried about being mauled alive by weird infected people. See, like over here, like they didn't go over here. I wouldn't have seen it if I didn't look. I got it. No. Firefly. The Fireflies are one of the main rebel groups in this game. Rebelling against the sanctioned areas in the quarantine zones by the government. You can look at this and you can view it as an actual note, or you can read it through text. You'll find different things that reveal more about the plot through the notes, and it's actually really interesting. You'll find all kinds of different things. Let's see. I probably have to get up there, so this dumpster I'll probably be able to move. Yep. Another example of using the real world things. And you see all the detail. Like they didn't have to put this detail there, but there's it's like a really messy. There's debris everywhere, like it would be, litter everywhere. All kinds of strange brand name things. Like they'll have like a mock bag of, I don't know, like Ruffles or something. I don't think they have that, but let's use that as an example. And they'll call it like Duffels or something. They have all kinds of weird little off-brand sort of things. There's like a Uncharted and Jak and Daxter board game you can find in the game. Pink Floyd Animals, they have like a parody record cover in the record store you find. And I won't say much more, but you'll find all kinds of cool stuff like that. It took a lot of care into making this world feel very immersive, very real. And that's part of what makes this game so good, I think. There's not as much platforming as in Uncharted. There's moments like this, but that's about it. It is an entirely different game than Uncharted, although it feels similar at times.
Here we go.
The lighting, as you'll see in a second,
Home stretch,
is
Tess.
amazing in this game. There's so many moments where it's like, I just want to take a picture of this and use it as my wallpaper or something. The environments are just incredible. I can't imagine how good this would look if it was developed for PS4. Because there are some texture issues you'll see, and like some of the grass looks like like that. There's like a flat plane. Looks really bad up close. But those things don't break the immersion too much, I don't think. I just kind of wonder what games like this are going to look like in the future. It gets me excited, you know, because this looks great right now.
Just so it's out there, I can't swim.
Yeah, Ellie can't swim, and you will be very well aware of that by the end of this game.
What do you mean?
We'll do a lot of time. I'm glad I'm playing this part because this is one of the things that impressed me, this lighting here, in this swamp area.
Yeah, sure.
That is one of these standout things about this game. It's just, it looks so beautiful like this. I mean, come on. Look at that. That's amazing. And you'll see, just like in Uncharted, what happens to Drake, his outfit will get wet, and it'll noticeably look different when it's wet, which is a nice touch. The game really does hit home that this is, you know, a horribly damaged terrain that used to be populated by actual real people. And you'll cover all these little things about that throughout the whole game, and you'll find all these areas. It's not just these like rustic kind of destroyed towns, but it's mostly, you know, kind of showcasing that as well. So it's not letting me go through here. But usually you'll see stuff like this, like, yeah, I can jump in there. That means there's probably something around here. There you go, that is a Firefly pendant. This is, again, the Fireflies are one of the main rebel groups of the game. You'll find these are collectible. I think you get a trophy if you find them all. I found a lot of them so far, but not all of them. Just a neat little collectible, like Uncharted you have this. I'm sorry I keep comparing it to Uncharted, but there are similarities, undeniably. There's a pretty big spoiler coming up, so I'm not going to go much farther into this game, but we'll go right up into it. There's a gondola boat that went to hell. Or, I don't know what that is, actually. I don't know if it's a gondola boat. Never mind. Big old swan. This is the kind of stuff that hits home, though, that, you know, again, this was a populated area. This was probably a tourist attraction. Right now, I believe I'm still in Boston. There are other areas you go in, like I said, you traverse across the entire United States. Or, not the entire, but a lot of it. Actually, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a jump cut past this part so I don't spoil anything.
What the fuck? I can't believe we did that.
Stop.
And we're back. Apparently there's a firefight going on. Police have invaded this area. It's a bit farther in the game than where we last were at. And now I gotta fight them off. So let's see what I can find. And here we have a new weapon. This is the hunting rifle, I believe. Yep. This thing, well, it does have a scope when you upgrade it, but it's pretty powerful. Here you'll see the cover. It's not really a cover system, but a lot of the environment is it has this like these little platforms you can hide behind, so you can stealthily move around. My reticle here isn't as good as it was when it's upgraded, but you can still see that there are people right ahead up here. Now they're starting to come in. Okay. Now they know I'm here, but they don't know I'm right here, so I can still stealthily move around. And I blew that one. You can use a person as a human shield, which comes into play. They're not going to want to kill this guy because they're police, but some people don't give a crap. Yeah, I don't want to deal with that guy anymore. Usually not smart to approach things that way, but well, there you go. Took care of him. Well, they're all around this area, so I gotta watch out. there's a plank. Let's see. I can actually, oh, let me upgrade that yet. Later in the game, you can upgrade your melee weapons, which is fun. Those are one hit, one kill.
What are we doing?
Get to that hole. Stay down in behind them where you are.
I need a health kit severely. Ellie's a pretty tough chick. She can take care of herself most of the time. But Joel doesn't want to give her weapons, basically, because she's so young. So you have to kind of defend her. He's mostly afraid that she's going to wind up shooting him. Now, one thing that's weird is that Ellie can walk past these guards and they usually don't see her, but if I do it, they see me. It's kind of a weird nuance of the game. Ah, crap. I didn't see that guy. And he didn't see me, so who cares? I'm usually better at stealth. I don't know what I'm doing better. But yeah, this is very early in the game, probably maybe 25–30% through. There's a lot to do in this game, there's a lot to see. Again, I spent 20 hours my first playthrough just exploring, trying to find everything. The characterization is amazing. The dynamic relationship between Ellie and Joel is something that is very intriguing. You'll want to play through the whole game to see what happens with them. You want to play through the game to see who lives, who doesn't. There's a lot of tragedy in this game, a lot of dark themes, a lot of things that would actually probably happen if something would happen with a disease in the world where people had to survive to live. And you see the remnants of a town like this, dilapidated, just destroyed. The environments are amazing. Graphics are pretty good. The lighting is spectacular. Naughty Dog made the game. Included a bonus reflective sticker with these first edition copies. No instruction booklet, it's a digital one. But yeah, thank you guys for watching DZ Plays. I hope I spiked some interest in this game for you. I know I didn't play it the best, but I'm trying to kind of think on what to say as well as, you know, maneuver around all these traps and things. So look forward to more DZ Plays. Subscribe to my channel if you want.